This is the Sumner, a Tier 8 American destroyer. It's the top of the line on the American ship tree. And yep, this is a new era in World of Warships Legends with the Tier 8s. The Sumner is said to be a mix of the Fletcher and the Gearing, so that sounds pretty potent to me. And with that, let's take a look at the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Albert Gleaves. Base trait is from afar. Torpedo range is increased with this base trait, and the inspirations is a double concealment inspiration with Eric Bay Shifty and Jersey Swirsky Hide and Seek. The first skills, this is set up for a torpedo setup here. The first skill is subsurface venture. Torpedo speed is increased, as is the torpedo launcher reload time is improved by 12%, but the main battery reload time takes a hit by 10%. And the second skill is Look at Me Now. Sea detectability range is improved, so this is the maximum concealment you will get with this ship, with this commander setup. Third skill is Cloak and Dagger. Torpedo detectability and the launcher reload time is improved yet again, and the detectability is decreased by 200 meters, and I found that this is pretty effective out there in a standard match. And then we have Smoke on the Water for the fourth skill. Smoke screen dispersion time and its deployment time is improved by 6% respectively. And the legendary skill is Unstoppable. Engine repair time is improved by 10%. Skill also allows for a disabled engine and or rudder to still keep running, and the special effect is a damage control party cooldown time, which is improved by 50% here at legendary rank 3, and it activates when you are within 6 kilometers of an enemy. If you go up to a legendary rank 4, that range will go up to 7.5 kilometers. Alright, let's take a look at the upgrades for the ship, and they are extensive on these Tier 8s. First upgrade is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Dispersion of the main battery and the torpedo launcher traverse speed is improved. Second upgrade is the Propulsion Mod 2. Time taken to reach full power is improved by 50%. And then we have the Concealment Mod 1. Detectability range is improved, as is the incoming fire dispersion. And then the fourth upgrade is the torpedo launchers. Torpedo launcher reload time is improved by 15%. Risk of launchers being incapacitated goes up to 50% though, and I haven't really seen this problem in a battle. And then we have the default upgrades here. First one is Artillery 127mm Mark 30. The reload time goes down to 3.3 seconds. And the armor piercing and HE shell damage goes up a little bit, as we'll go over later. And then the second default upgrade is Targeting System Mark 7 Mod 2. Firing range is increased by 10%. And then the last upgrade is to the torpedoes. Mark 14 Mod 3. Reload time is a little over 2 minutes right there. Maximum damage is a whopping 17,900. Range is 17.4 kilometers, and I think this is the longest range of any destroyer in my port. Speed is 70 knots, which is pretty respectable, and detectability range by sea is 1.2 kilometers. And the last upgrade is Blank. I didn't have 5 million credits when I did the highlight video you're going to see, but that would be a 5 million silver credits here, and it would increase the hit points up to 18,000, and the rudder shift time would improve to 3.1 seconds. So keep that in mind. 5 million credits for the Sumner Hull B. The rest of these default upgrades were 625,000 silver credits. And then the torpedoes here, you can see the upgrade mod 4 is 3 million credits. Upgrade mod 3 is 2 million silver credits. So by the time you're done here, you will need an additional 12 million silver credits or so above and beyond what it took to purchase the ship. So you want to keep that in mind. And then the loadout, you have your normal ammunition, high explosive shells, armor-piercing shells, and torpedoes, which we'll go over in a little bit. Consumables is a damage control party. Duration is 5 seconds, reloads every 40 seconds, and there is an unlimited number of those consumables. Smoke generator consumable is next. Its duration is 29.7 seconds. Dispersion time is 131.4 seconds, so a little over 2 minutes. Reload time is 240 seconds. And there are 2 of these consumables. Then you have the engine boost consumable, which will temporarily increase the ship's maximum speed by 8%. Duration is 120 seconds with a reload time of 180 seconds, and there are 2 of those consumables. And I was running all of these boosters during the highlight video you're going to see, but during a standard match I could select anything here, so keep that in mind. And for the camo, I just selected any grade 4 camouflage with a sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion of 4.5% respectively. And that will max out the detectability, as you're going to see in a second here. Stats, survivability hit points is 15,500. Remember, it would go up to like 19,000, 18,000 or so with the hull default upgrade for 5 million silver credits. Armor is 13 to 20 millimeter. Artillery, you have 6 guns. They reach out to 10.9 kilometers. Reload every 3.3 seconds. HE shell damage has a maximum of 2,000 with a 5% chance of setting fire. Armor-piercing shells have a maximum damage of 2,300. All right, and then the torpedoes. You have 2 launchers of 5 torpedoes each. The reload time is down to 97.2 seconds with a maximum damage of 17,900. That's a pretty hefty damage right there. Torpedo detectability is 1.2 kilometers. The range of the torpedoes is 17.4 kilometers, and that is the farthest torpedo range of any destroyer in my port, I believe. Torpedo speed is 70 knots, which is that's respectable. Here are your AA defenses. This looks like a lot of guns here. You might be able to clear the sky. In fact, any American ship I've noticed can kind of clear the sky pretty well, regardless of the AA defensive number of 52 right there, or whatever that number would be. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 36 knots. Turning circle radius is 620 meters with a rudder shift time of 3.8 seconds. And the concealment, detectability range by sea is 5.2 kilometers. Detectability range by air is 3 kilometers. And if you're firing in the smoke, it is 2.6 kilometers. And here is the armor view. Whatever you do, do not get hit. And the overview. Extended smoke increases the smoke screen duration. Nothing wrong with that. Reloader, above average main battery reload speed. That is good as well. Nimble aim, above average main battery traverse speed, gives an edge in close quarters combat. So it would kind of seem that they want you to set this boat up as a gunboat, but I had pretty bad luck when I used Mordoff or one of the other commanders like Halsey. So once I went with a torpedo boat, that is when the Sumner came into its own, at least for me. So then the USS Allen M Sumner was the lead ship of her class of destroyers. These ships offered a few upgrades compared to the Fletcher class, including the gun mounts, dual rudders, additional anti-aircraft weapons, as well as other advancements. Year of design was 1943, and it looks like there were no ships in the series. All right, well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights. All right, we're in standard, we're in Sleeping Giant. Sleeping Giant is one of my favorite maps. And I'm going down toward C and D over here. This is kind of, as far as all the matches I've been in, this is sort of where all the action is. So I'm going to come over here and try to get into it with a bunch of the battleships. You can see that there are 5 battleships on each team, and it's an aircraft carrier match. So we'll be looking out for any clear sky medals, and if we get attacked, we'll see how well we do clearing the sky and shooting down the aircraft. Like I said earlier, I believe that all the American ships really do pretty good at clearing the sky. But here, this is a big gap right here that I'm gonna blanket with 10 torpedoes right here with both racks, and we're just gonna cover that area and see if we can get some hits on basically a fishing expedition is sort of what that is. 17.5 kilometer range is awesome. You'll definitely hit ships pretty much at any part of the map, it seems like. But we're just going to come over here. There's not much going on yet. We are working our way over to D to try to capture D. And yeah, for whatever reason, I have not had the greatest luck with the Fletcher as far as the torpedo boat or even the Gearing, believe it or not. Gearing does have pretty long-range torpedoes and is a pretty good destroyer, I think, as far as rapid reloading main guns, and the torpedoes are even spec'd out pretty well. But for whatever reason, I have sort of not had the greatest luck with either of those ships. I've had better luck with the Fletcher once I set it up as a gunboat with Mordoff as commander. And here you see I do get 2 torpedo hits and 2 floodings on my fishing expedition. So right off the bat, we do have 25,000 damage. I believe it's on that Richelieu right there. And this is a big time cluster of battleships. You got 3 battleships and a cruiser. So I'm going to be careful of the cruiser and look to work my way in on these battleships and just see if I can pummel them with more torpedo strikes.
Engine boost activated.
So yeah, so I'm taking a look at all these ships here, and you can see that they really are pretty much all within range, but I am looking to close into my 5.2 kilometer concealment range, or closer to that, because I do have the 5.2 kilometer concealment range. And that was a safe distance to take a shot at the Richelieu. And there's the Bismarck. He looks like he's backing up, but I'm just going to throw some torpedoes over in that direction.
Capture that area.
And with a 1.5-minute reload, it kind of is what it is. It really goes by pretty quick, it seems like to me. And there's a Richelieu moving out again. He did not take the bait. He did not keep going backwards, and I completely missed on that one salvo with that one rack of torpedoes. So we're moving in to capture kind of like the original plan was to come over here and start capturing D over here. And it looks like that Bismarck is going to take some hits right there. 3 hits. That is some big time damage right there. And okay, we're up to 62,000 damage, and the Bismarck is not looking all that great. He's looking kind of thin. So we're going to come around here. And yeah, we went out of the circle for a second, I think. So everything reset. So now we're counting down again. I don't think anybody got shot. I think I just moved out of the circle right there.
Engine boost deactivated.
But I'm looking to come around here and try to get some more shots on these battleships. This is definitely a target-rich environment here. The Richelieu intercept point is in the island. And so I'm just going to close up over here. So now the Richelieu looks like he is starting to turn in, so that is good. Here I'm positioning myself right here for like an exit point in case things get kind of rough and I need to escape. I'm just going to go to my right and sort of get out of here. At least that's the initial plan. So here I do slow up. We do capture the base. And so now I'm moving out of this exit point right here. And I'm going to be hoping that those torpedoes get a couple hits on some unsuspecting battleships. Right, let's see if the main gets hit, and he does get hit, and he gets wiped out. One destroyed ship, so that is the first torpedo destruction for the Sumner for me. And yeah, so I think I forgot to mention that this literally was my very first match in the Sumner after I set up Gleaves, after probably a half a dozen or more gunboat matches with Mordoff as a commander. He's the most potent gunship commander that I have, and I do have Halsey and Burke, but for whatever reason, none of those gunboat guys were working out for me, and I decided to give the torpedoes a try. And for me, that is really what's doing it here, is the torpedo setup. And yeah, I don't know, the Sumner does seem to have sort of equivalent specs to the Gearing anyway as far as torpedoes, and I cannot explain why I can't get a good result with the Gearing. But anyway, now I've got the Sumner, so I guess I don't care about the Gearing, because the Sumner for me was a lot of fun to play here in this match. And I got to play some more matches in the Sumner. This is literally the only match that I have played with the Sumner. Maybe 2 or 3 matches, but not really a whole lot. So here I'm waiting for the Richie Lou to just come around the corner here, and somehow he is going to back up and evade all these torpedoes. So I'm not sure what kind of a magician is running to Richie Lou there, but good for him, because he successfully evaded that dev strike pretty much on those torpedoes. Those torpedoes would have definitely taken him out right there. And we are way ahead in the match because we have captured 2 of the 4 bases, so we're well on our way to winning the match. But I'm sort of waiting to see what happens with the Richie Lou right there. It looks like he's not really going to be around anyway. So now I'm looking around for other targets. Don't really see any. But at this point, I'm sort of thinking about going over by B. And I'm waiting to see what's going on there. And I don't know how the friendly battleship got taken out, but it looks like that's exactly what happened. And the Richie Lou is gone as expected. So now I'm going to come over here and look for some more of the red team ships. Still is a battleship and an aircraft carrier. There's a battleship right there on the other side of A. So I'm going to come around here. And yeah, that's a Bismarck. And there's the Lexington right over there. If he keeps going, I will definitely wipe him out with these torpedoes. So that looks like an excellent deal right there. There's the Hipper. I'm going to be looking to take B to try to get as many XP points as possible here. So this is looking to be a solo capture of this base. So this will really max out the points. I don't think there's anyone else in B right here. So we're going to get some pretty big time points there. And I'm keeping an eye on those torpedoes. I'm expecting that they are going to wipe out the Lexington any moment. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And come on, man. I'm expecting a torpedo hit here. The Bismarck, the red team Bismarck is gone, so I don't have to worry about him. And luckily these torpedoes have that 17-kilometer range, so they just keep going. And boy, those things are going for quite a while right there. And we do get one hit and a flood on the Lexington. We're up to 89, 103, 2 more torpedo hits. So 2 torpedo hits, not 2 more, but 2 torpedo hits right there. We're up to 103,000 damage. We did get the solo capture, so now I'm going to be looking to finish off the Lexington. I really expected to take that guy out with that salvo of torpedoes there. A couple torpedo hits was kind of cool, but and 103,000 damage. That's obviously definitely my best game with the Sumner at this point. All right, the battle's ended. That's a big time victory for the Sumner. First time playing with Gleaves as a commander with a torpedo setup. This is an awesome result. 365,000 credits, 103,000 battle performance damage on 8 torpedo hits, 3 aircraft shot down, a destroyed ship, 5 floodings, and 2 captured flags. Let's see how we did on the team result. Whoa, 2,500 XP, first place overall. That's a great result for my first match with Gleaves in the Sumner. Let's see how we did on the economy tab. All right, well, by the time it was all said and done, we made 175,000 credits. All right, well, that's it for the Sumner. As far as I'm concerned, the only way to play it is as a torpedo boat. I couldn't make it work as a gunboat. If you can make it work as a gunboat, go ahead and let me know down below. But yeah, Sumner setup for torpedoes seems to be it, at least for me. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.